Welcome to a new TEW2020 video. He joins today for the 5th instalment of AEW The Stars Will Shine, who basically are The Stars Who Shine, which is our all-female pay-per-view. Mad, that's his 5 years. It's a second one back-to-back that's going to be in Daly's place, and it's going to be a real indication of the development of Veronica, how she's went from winning a Battle Royal last year, being helped over by The Rock, to main eventing in a 2 out of 3 falls match with Mayu Iwatani. Cannot wait for that one. There's a lot of championship matches on this. It says we were due about 130,000 people at the show. You're wondering why Daly's Place has got that. We basically just kept throwing money at it because it's effectively, obviously, the Jags kind of area, so making that bigger and bigger wasn't a problem. But I do appreciate we obviously will have a lower attendance because we obviously don't have a lot of the main people here. Obviously, all our male superstars who are over will not be in attendance. So we'll crack on, we'll explain stuff as we go along. But sit back, relax and enjoy AEW The Stars Who Shine 5 from February 2027. Let's do it. And what a way to start our show in front of 123,522 at Daly's Place. It might be our highest ever show. Obviously it was free entry. But I went with Aztec Warfare. I thought, let's have a battle royal, but let's have pinfalls, submissions, all that take place. So we had Courtney Dawn, Danny Luna, Hikaru Shida, Io Shirai, Jamie Hayter, Konami, Lacey Ryan, Liviana Morgan, Maddie Rinkowski, Mi Segura, Penelope Ford, Red Velvet, Sari, Shotzi, Blackheart, Simone Johnson, Stephanie Vakua, Takuma Aroa, Thunder Rosa, Utami Hayashida, and Veni. The winner to get a championship match of their choosing down the line. I had a decent match up here that saw Jamie Hayter win in 22:43. Other members of the Final Four were Takuma Aroha, Io Shirai and Veni, which is a very strong Final Four. Takuma being the final elimination. Veni got the most eliminations, and your Iron Woman was Takumi Aroha as well. Obviously she's someone with a great technical skill set, good psychology. This is someone that can certainly carry the match up, and the fact that I got an 80 is really encouraging. Delighted with that. A few negatives here. Courtney Dawn off her game, and the likes of Danny Luna, Liviana Morgan and Shotzi are getting a little bit stale. But it's Jamie that wins, and she'll get a championship match down the line. She'll declare where she is. We are going to look to turn Liviana Morgan. Just not now. Too soon. We go straight in to our AEW Women's World Championship match. We've not seen her since the massive bump she took at the TLC match with Iwatani. But Yamashita said she was turning up, and she is here for a fatal 4-way match. We're going to see Demi Bennett defend against Yamashita, Becky Quinn, and Elena Black. 84, a very good ovation as she makes her triumphant return. And the match itself was also an 84. Superb wrestling match that saw Demi Bennett defend the championship and retain it against Elena Black, Rina Yamashita, Becky Quinn in 17:42 when Demi pinned Becky with the Riptide, giving her a 6th defence of the Women's World title. Becky and Yamashita were off their game as they ended up with 77 performances. Becky and Elena with very good matchups, performances. 84 overall across the board, pretty good. It kind of gives us an idea of a story we can tell coming out of this, which is basically, can Becky still hack it at the top level? But good stuff as the title reign of Demi Bennett continues. We had a matchup for the Queen of AEW Championship. This is her championship on Carnage, the former crown of FCW, which we purchased. And Tai Mello has been on a tear. She's been challenged by Dynamite's Kairi Hojo, and these two had a great wrestling match with good heat, as Tai Mello defeated Kairi Hojo in 13:43 with the Tayagoshi, giving her 13th defence of the Queen of AEW title. Just basically been building her up so strong. Any champion, anybody that takes that championship just gets so over because they're constantly winning and getting up some prestige. These two have got good technical skills, so they're good mix here. Still a show matchup, and an 84 is pretty damn stellar. It's that way where I'm like, Tai Mello's not far off going to either Dynamite or Rampage. She's that over. We then moved on to the vacant Shine Championship. Of course, an injury occurred to Chris Statlander, and in this one we saw competitors from the Rampage brand compete for it alongside the guests from Carnage, which is the ever-improving Steph Delander. And we had a decent match-up here. It was Ruby Soho who took the win over Priscilla Kelly, Yuka Sakazaki, Bailey Rose, Toni Storm and Steph Delander in 12:56 when she pinned Bailey with the hidey-ho. Meaning your new Shine champion is Ruby Soho. A 73 segment, some decent performances in there, the peak of them from Priscilla Kelly, who also foreshadowed a heel turn during this segment, so you may have an idea which programme we're going forward with. Hint, hint. But good stuff all round. And after it, Ruby celebrates, just a 48 as she celebrates with the Shine Championship belt. Moving along, we have a little promo from Anna Jay and Britt Baker. They say tonight's the night they get the AEW Women's Tag Championships back in their possession as they take on Mercedes Mone and her rookie partner Rok-C, which was a 73 promo. Match itself did okay. It was an 82 for the Fatal 4-Way matchup. And it was a good matchup that saw the team of Mercedes Mone and Rok-C defeat Britt Baker and Anna Jay, Saraya Knight and Valkyrie, and Riho and Natsume Maki in 14:06 when Mercedes submitted Saraya with a bank statement or equivalent name, giving them their third defence of the Women's Tag Team Championships. Mercedes were 93, some strong performances in there from Anna Jay, and not too bad there either from Britt and Saraya. You can see there with Rok-C, massive work in progress, but that's why we've got her with Mercedes. 82 delighted with that. Riho is getting a little bit stale, which is a shame. And after the matchup, they start arguing, Anna Jay and Britt Baker, and Britt Baker just beats the crap out of Anna Jay. Finishes up with a lockjaw, and obviously gets separated by officials and members of staff. But the 79 segment here is to make sure that Anna Jay has a complete success turn and will be babyface going forward. And that also gives us a programme of Anna Jay and Britt Baker. In a little package backstage, it was one of our authority figures, Dwayne Johnson, alongside Veronica. He basically says, I've been a huge supporter of Veronica, I've helped you turn into this massive star, you're obviously getting better and better in the ring. It just doesn't sit right with what you've done with Simone. Obviously she's The Rock's daughter, and he wants to look out for the best for her. He realises this is the wrestling business, but he just hopes that she remembers who she is and she doesn't get ahead of herself, basically. He says he'll keep an eye on it, but just get her to sort her ways, effectively, for her matchup later tonight. Moved on to the match for the TBS Championship. It was a rematch as Willow Nightingale looked to try and reclaim it. And a good matchup here saw Deonna Purrazzo defeat Willow Nightingale in 13:54 with the Fujiwara armbar, giving her second defence. 82, solid stuff from the wrestling perspective across the board from the women. And yeah, great stuff there as Deonna continues her championship reign. We then had a little promo after the match-up, and Jamie Hayter says, you know, I've had a good time on Rampage, but I feel like I'm going to come to Dynamite, and I'm going to come after that TBS Championship. So you just get a little preparation in, Deonna, because one day I'm going to take that belt from you. 68, building up Deonna versus Jamie. It's hard to believe, but we've actually built up 3 or 4 matches going forward for, obviously, Swear's World, and of course Revolution at the end of next month as well. Moving on forward, we had a match up here, a little feud that's been going between Jade Cargill and Alexa Cabrera, obviously big versus small here, and that's kind of been the gist of it. Alexa's been getting some shock victories, and it continued again today. Great heat, good wrestling. Alexa Cabrera defeats Jade Cargill in 12:46 with a surprise roll-up. So a 79, some good stuff there. Alexa picks up the win, and Jade's kind of like, well, what's happening with me? What next? I've been on a terrible run of matches. But you know what? She turned around and she says to Alexa, you know what? You got me. There's been a few matches, you've just absolutely got me. You've managed to be in the right place and pick up the victory, and I respect that. So shaking of hands at 77, and a babyface turn for the first time in the save for Jade Cargill. So we're going to see where that goes, which I think is going to set us up for our main event. Nope, I forgot I added in Ronda Rousey versus Killer Kelly at the last minute. So, for those who don't know, Ronda Rousey I signed back in to give some more star power to Carnage, just because I never really had many over females. So we decided here to have a special matchup. It was a shoot fight we went for, if it actually shows us, 1v1 shoot fight, so they could wrestle in a cage. And we had a good wrestling match here, decent reaction from the crowd. pretty good rating in a 78 as Ronda defeated Killer Kelly in 14:29 with an armbar. Whether I'm going to push Ronda at the top, probably not, because this, as you can see, the division is stacked, but a good win against a competitor that won't lose too much here. As I say, Killer Kelly's pop cap, her technical skills are fantastic, so we'll get her back up, no problem. We then hear from Veronica, which is the 82 promo. She says she knows that she's got every tool in the locker: charisma, star power, sex appeal. She's still a work in progress technically, but she's going to prove that she can hang and that everyone's just jealous of her. She's slowly getting to the mid-30s in all skill sets, so we're slowly closing in on the 40s, which, considering they were all in high teens when she started, when she propped up in the save, it's really, really good progression. It might take me about 28, 29 before we see the real peak of her, but she could be phenomenal. Hopefully, Mayu can drag it a good match. I think she'll maybe get like a high 60 performance, Veronica, but the match might do well because Mayu can carry. Let's find out. Wow. Wow. An exceptional matchup. Veronica has defeated Mayu Iwatani in 25:58 by 2 falls to 1. She won the first fall, Mayu won the second fall, and then the third fall from Veronica was won illegally using the ropes for leverage. They deliver a 90, Iwatani delivered a 98 because obviously great chemistry, Veronica with a 71. So we can tell a story coming out of this. She's been pinned, but her AEW record will still show as undefeated. Frustratingly, she had an independent show before we signed her, where she took a defeat, so it's not going to be a perfect record in game, but fantastic there. A story to tell coming out of this, and overall we get a 95 because of obviously the boosts that are there. A strong main event. We didn't have many two good promos, so probably, if we had some better promos, could have been even higher than that in a 97 or 98, but pretty good stuff across the board. You can see there is some good things in the women's division. There's a lot that are pop capped, and a lot of maybe struggle with psychology, but I certainly feel like the depth is there. We can run that pretty good without any issue. So we're now going to jump back into the main screen and we'll take a wee look at Veronica's progress. So before we go into Veronica, I just want to show this. We got 35.50 TV rating, 26 million viewers. No buy rate, obviously. And the show is now above average. We didn't lose attendance figures for having none of our main stars on the show, so that's encouraging. I just want to quickly check. If I go here, you'll see here we have a lot of people unhappy. Also a lot of people that are injured. Quite a few back soon in the next month, but it's probably the biggest injury list I've had. But 3 months for Darby and 4 months for Kenny, so we're still a wee bit away from them. But what I wanted to check was, in terms of actual shows, that comes in at number 26, just ahead of last year's show, so that's not too bad. In terms of 2027, it is actually our best show this year, surpassing The Romance is Dead and Beach Break. So there you go, the women are showing us how it's done. Obviously, match-wise, this year they would slot in at number 6. Our match of the year so far is Kayima and Walter defeating LFI, and LFI in the second matchup as well, before we had Cody and Takeshita, which was just in my last Rampage there. So yeah, pretty encouraging stuff there. But what I wanted to check was attendances. It's clearly by far our biggest attended show this year. Is it the most attended show in AEW history? It is. So the 2 free shows have done it. The Stars Who Shine 5 far surpasses the Stars Who Shine 4 with 123,522 in attendance. But you can see there it is, like see the Free For All series and the Extravaganza. I'm intrigued to see how the Free For All series does, because it'll probably be the same for Swerve's House. So let's see if we can maybe even better the attendance we've got there. And last but not least, we said we'd check Veronica. Let's jump and find her. She gained pop. She gained a little bit of pop there, but you can see psychology, charisma, microphone acting are all good. 60 not actually that great in star quality, but it's everything else that's pretty stellar. 92, 93 across the board. Yep, I could even go to India and she'd still be the main star attraction there. Crazy. If we just go to our match history, you can see 10-0 for 2027, all years, 51-1. And of course that one was there when she was Sally Campbell and she lost to Judy Silver for Big Time Wrestling. But that's not bad. So we can see here she's had the push. In fact, if you actually look at it, she's done a Big Time independent show there. So if we had to put that to AEW, that was a 15-0 as well. That's pretty cool how that's worked out like that. But you can see they're 15-0 in AEW, and that push has been from, when did I say, September 2025 to February 2027. So you won't see too much in terms of if I go to popularity. You'll see she was already up to 68 by February, but we obviously really pushed her on. But you can see even in the last month, 85 up to 91. So it's been a good gradual build up. And if I just got a skill set, this is why I wish I could play more games way into the future to focus on the development, which I do obviously a lot with Football Manager, but obviously because it takes that long to book, I need to find myself a company with one show that I can fly through. But you can see there 21 to 34 in Brawling, and that's just for February, so obviously never mind before that. 22 to 34, 35 now. 20 to 33, technicals went 25 to 37, so you see it slowly gaining a point per time nearly. 19 to 33 aerial, and 21 to 34 in flashiness. Even psychology's up 90 to 92. Experience is getting there slowly but surely. Obviously reputation and respect. The charisma's went up by 3, by the way. So's the microphone. So's the acting. Star quality stayed the same, so the sex appeal. I'd probably need to obviously add in some sort of stuff with maybe asking her to get bigger or whatever else. Basics 37 to 69. And that's only for February, so it would be even lower. The selling 33 to 41. Consistency 64 to 87. Safety 55 to 86. Stamina stayed the same. Athleticism is up 1. Power is up 0. Toughness is up 1. Resilience has stayed the same with no sets of skills there. She's intense. She plays realistic well. She had 1 injury, but she physically is near peak condition. As somebody who plays a lot of Football Manager and loves new gens, I need to do this, but I need to do it with like more than one. But I just love seeing the development of created characters, but I just have such a big roster that they're so far down the pecking order, or we'd have the likes of a Wayne Azaria, etc. But the roster's massive, it's 3 brands deep at this point, and obviously I've got like 100 odd people in Dynamite Impact as well, so yeah, hard to keep track of at times, but let's keep pushing on. As I say, we're now on the road to Swerve's House. That'll be next weekend game and on the channel, and hopefully you'll join us before that, and then obviously on the road to Revolution. So take it easy. If you like to give us a wee thumbs up, it's deeply appreciated. Let us know how you're still finding TEW, as we are pretty much definitely now actually over 3 years in its life cycle. Do you feel we're likely to have a new one? I personally don't. I think this is it. Shame that we never got a full screen. And as much as I'd love to do something with Pro Wrestling Sim, I just can't seem to get my head around a new save effectively. That's the biggest kicker. If I through a couple of months, that'd be great, but when you've got so much booking you need to do in this, your head kind of goes a wee bit all over the place. But anyway, that's the tangent. The other tangent I'll go on is check out the Grey Dog Software forums, Fantasy Booker subreddit, and be the booker as well. Check that out. But until then, take it easy, and I'll see you next week. For whose house? It's Swerve's house. Bye bye. And hey folks, it's Maxie here.